Hey, Slick Talkers, thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. And I know that if you love this show, you'll also love my morning show called Good Morning Hospitality with my co hosts Michael Golden and Brandy Canali, as we spend 30 minutes every Monday morning to dive into the industry's top latest news and trending topics. So go check it out on wherever you find your podcasts at Good Morning Hospitality. And you can live stream with us on Monday mornings on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Now, I hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome to Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast where we discuss all things hospitality, hotels, and business. You can find us online at slicktalkthepodcast.com and on every podcast listening platform.
I am beyond excited about this episode because it's been in the works for about 5 weeks. Normally, for me to get an episode out, it's not. We're pretty quick, but David and I really want to bring a lot of content. And in this episode, you're going to learn about Up Hotel Agency out in the UK, my first international guest, and what they do really with website design, marketing, and API, and other booking engine, and just overall great marketing strategies that they do and tools that they have that they've built and that they also have learned in the years and years and years of expertise. So I just want to say, guys, this episode does go a little bit longer than normal, but it's totally worth it. So stay tuned for just some really good content and a deep dive into what it really takes to capture direct bookings, to get the team on the same page, whether you're operations or marketing, maintenance, housekeeping, front desk, bellman, breakfast, you name it. You're in a hotel, you're a salesman, and guess what? This episode pertains to everybody. So I'm just really thankful for David taking the time and to work with the podcast and myself to really just get the content that we believe all our listeners deserve and want. So stay tuned for more things. I'll be posting on the social medias and the website with some tools, tips, tricks, and articles of cool things that David and I have kind of talked about throughout the episode. And yeah, share it, like, and subscribe, and enjoy, guys. David O from Up Hotel Agency. Here we go.
Welcome to Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast where we discuss all things hospitality, hotels, and business. You can find us online at slicktalkthepodcast.com and on every podcast listening platform.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast. I'm your host, Will Slickers, and today I'm excited to be working and interviewing a good friend that I've met over the internet, David O. Forgive me for not being able to pronounce your last name again. But David is the founder of Up Hotel Agency in the UK, and I'm really excited to dive in on pretty much direct bookings and how guests and hoteliers can work pretty much together in utilizing the website and everything else, like booking engines and proper marketing, and bridging the gap between operations and the marketing team in order to successfully combat the integration and the battle of OTAs and other third-party websites out there. So, David, thank you for being on the show, my friend.
Hello, thank you very much. Thanks for having me as well. I'm excited.
Yes. So let's kind of just dive in. You and I talked briefly, back and forth, and I think your story is really unique and really cool. And so if you just want to dive into what your story is and how you got started and kind of what Up is in the terms of your creation.
Okay, so I personally have over 16 years of experience in the hospitality industry, especially in marketing and the more digital side. So I've worked with hotels online, groups online, and huge corporations online as well. So running small agencies to managing large global corporate operations in hospitality. So I'd say I've got quite a lot of experience working in this area, and then I've taken all of that expertise and try and condense all of the good parts of larger brands, all of the intriguing parts of how to promote smaller independent hotels and small groups, and created Up Hotel Agency. So I'd almost say that Up Hotel Agency is like a boutique hotel. So we add that extra level of service, that extra level of attention and detail some of the surprise and delight elements and expertise that they bring to the market, and we've packaged that in an agency format. So the core of it is we love what we do, and we get amazing results for our clients, and then that works perfectly all in one sort of agency, because the people enjoy working, the people have the expertise, and the hotels get the results that they're looking for and get the worth of what they're doing. So that's the core of Up.
Awesome. And it's just like bringing, we're always focused as hoteliers, we're always focused on the guest experience, but your part of the job is getting the client experience, the guest experience that they need and the results that they want. So I think that's a great pretty much origin of creating the guest experience, is all behind the scenes stuff as well, what you guys do.
Exactly. And so one core thing that I've always tried to put into what we do in Up is that we don't take on too much work to be able to give the attention to the hotels we work with. And that's really important, because if you imagine a hotel that's got a specific amount of rooms or occupancy, and there's only a certain amount of people that level of staff can look after. Whereas if you imagine a hotel had 100 rooms, but they filled it with 500 rooms worth of people, then things get dropped. And historically, agencies or people that work in this area typically take too much on without that consideration. So we're quite strict in making sure that if we do take the work on, then we have enough of the expertise to start with, and also the bandwidth to be able to take that on too.
That's amazing. I love it. I think it's attention to detail and the small details that really make it all the big difference. So for all the listeners out there, like what is your main market? Like where's your base clients out of? Are you mostly just in the UK, or do you guys adventure out into other segments?
So our main office is based in the UK. We do have representatives across the world as well. However, hospitality is a global thing, and even if we're working with a hotel in the UK, they have guests from the US. They have
part-time staff members that help with just miscellaneous tasks, from landscaping to keeping the patio and the patio furniture in tip-top shape, to pressure washing. And so we've tried to keep things fairly internal and in-house versus hiring out service companies for every single item that's needed. So far it's worked okay, but we're looking at that we need to get maybe a more solid plan in the future and figure out long-term how we can sustain this amount of maintenance to this size of building.
Those who don't know, like caring about our guests, we care that they're paying money. We care that they're showing up, that they're going to take care of the room. That we care about, like if you're a front desk agent, you care about how many arrivals you have coming in that day, how many checkouts, how many stayovers, what's the ADR for the day, all this stuff. You care about all this information. Caring for our guests is going a little bit beyond that point, because yes, we care about the numbers, but there's still a human behind that number. When room 309 calls down asking for extra towels and maybe some harder pillows or whatever it may be, they're not room 309. That is Mr. or Mrs. Smith in room 309. They are in 309. They are not 309. This is something I've seen, and it's an easy thing to get caught up in when you are working the desk or housekeeping, or even at a restaurant when table 6 has a gluten-free allergy and they can't have this and can't have that and they didn't like this or whatever it may be. They're not the number that they are assigned. There's a person behind the number. So often we get caught up in, room 309 needs this, and that, and housekeeping thinks of it as a number. They don't think of it as a person, when really you don't know who you're checking in, what they're going through. And that's why we're in the industry. We're here to connect with people. We provide an excellent service and an excellent product, not because of the structure that we're in. You could have the most beautiful hotel in the world, but if you don't have that human to human interaction, you're not in the industry for the right reasons, and you're not even, I wouldn't even consider it to be hospitality. You're just a building. You're pretty much just renting out an apartment, a small apartment, if anything. So that's just one thing for any of those people that maybe if you're listening to my podcast, you're in the industry itself, that I hope you know this. I hope you know that it's not about the number. It's not about the ADR. It's not about all these things that we learn and that we know and that we love. It's about human to human interaction and connection. if you've also seen, I posted a while ago a TED Talk of a hotelier who he talks about a hotel is just a building, and how we can have the most beautiful sculptured building and architect and everything. We can have the most beautiful building in the world with all the amenities included, but at the end of the day, it means nothing. And it was a really good video, and that's really something that hit home with me, because there's so many times I've been so caught up in all these numbers and this information and the facts and just the everyday of coordinating people's travels for getting to the property, that I forget that I don't know what they're going through at that time. I don't know who is coming into my building. I don't know who's coming in with maybe some pain, some loneliness, some hurt, or who's coming in happy, who's coming in joyful. They're celebrating something that they've accomplished. They're excited. Who knows what you have going on. And so if you are in the industry and you are listening to this, just take that seriously. Take any kind of moment you can to really reach out, have that human connection. If you're a front desk agent, I encourage you to step away from the desk. Don't let the desk be a barrier. That's so often people are afraid to step in front of that computer and be one-on-one with that guest that maybe is having an issue or just needs someone to listen to them. It makes all the difference. Not only will your reviews and all your numbers go up, but you will have fulfilled something that is irreplaceable. I think that a hotel can't do. A building cannot do what we can do for each other. And for those people that are in the industry or not in the industry, that think you can just hop in here and think, I'm just here for a paycheck, and you don't care about that stuff, you're in the wrong spot. And you're the reason why hotels and just anything in that wide range of portfolio, you're the reason why some people hate going to hotels and hate traveling. Every time I go to a hotel, I'm watching everything. I'm seeing how everyone interacts, how they look at each other, how they're presenting themselves, how are they upkeeping their property. I look at every detail. And for those people that are just there for a paycheck, you should probably just find another job. This is not another paycheck. This is an industry of connecting and building and growing in community. So that's my 2 cents on that. I just kind of wanted to spiel into it because there's some things that this is one of the things, like back to the basics type deal. This is why the industry was built. And I just thought it was important to share. So thank you everybody for listening to my podcast today. It's September 17th, and be on the lookout for more episodes coming soon. I hope you all are having a great day, and I would love all the support I can get through subscribing and going to my Anchor page here on Anchor, and also my Facebook page and following along. Stay tuned. I'm working on getting a website built, building it myself, so making sure it looks up to standard and all that good stuff, and I'm just able to provide more information for people that have the same love and passion that I do for my job and for this industry itself. I appreciate all the support I can get. And if anybody has questions, you can contact me through the Facebook portal or subscribe and let me know. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for listening. We love your support and want to provide the best we can to all our listeners. So please find us online, social media, and on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast.
What's up, everybody? If you've gotten this far into the episode of Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast, then you are amazing, and thank you so much for tuning in. We want to send you 2 places really quickly. If you can, check out the show notes and click the hospitality.fm link. Check out all of our other shows on the podcast network. And don't forget, if you have someone that you want to hear on the podcast, then fill out the guest fill out form so that way we can get them on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy another episode of Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast.